As I finished my undergraduate degree at Illinois, I enrolled in the PhD program at MIT. This is the story of my first year in graduate school. My flight from Chicago landed at Logan Airport in Boston on a cold day in late January 1963. I collected my bags, got in a cab, and told the driver to take me to MIT. We drove along Starrow Drive, following the broad, peaceful Charles River, past Back Bay. From there, we crossed the river to the MIT Graduate House, which faces the bridge and the river. I paid the cabbie, gathered my bags, and walked in. The next day, I checked into the chemistry department. Within a few days, I had passed my entrance exam, met my temporary advisor, negotiated a course schedule, and received a teaching assignment. I was breathless already. My classmates had already been in graduate school for a semester when I arrived. This presented me with an extra challenge. Could I catch up with them? I had little room for anything but study that first semester. And MIT had other ways of making me feel humble. When I entered the classroom for my quantum mechanics course, I often encountered the previous hour's instructor, Norbert Wiener, the father of cybernetics. The image of his rotund, rather frail shape is indelibly burned in my memory. On my way to the lab in the morning, I would stop and talk with Harold Edgerton, inventor of the strobe. We talked about his expeditions with Jacques Cousteau. Noam Chomsky was lecturing nearby on the structure of language. Soon after I arrived, Alexander Calder unveiled a 33-ton sculpture that had been commissioned for the campus. But for that first year, chemistry owned me. Music had been a spectator sport since early in my undergraduate days. But after my preliminary exam was finished, after about a year of graduate school, a bit of emotional space seemed to open up, and I started feeling the need to play again. I could sign up for an hour of practice on the grand piano in the music room in the graduate house, and I started practicing regularly. Even when my playing wasn't as polished as it once had been, the practice was invigorating. I spent much of my practice time on Beethoven's Waldstein Sonata. Continuing an unfortunate tradition from earlier times, it was significantly too big and too hard for me, and I never finished learning it. On the other hand, I had fun trying, and I can still feel that piece under my fingers. It was good to be practicing again. I was learning how important music was in my life.